Conference Finals.
We realize that the job's not finished, but once again, I like our chances.
On my grind, I work hard. Lord, in me woe till I'm missing you more. Welcome to a different zone.
The Boston Celtics advance to the Eastern Conference Finals.
It means we got to get over that hump. Can't be satisfied.
Miami is not going to back down. They're not going to give up.
We're not scared of nobody.
And neither are we.
It's us versus everybody, and that's the mentality we have, and that's the mentality we're going to keep. Take it back to the 305 and work our way towards this championship.
Thinking about it, dreaming about it.
It's game day. Let's get it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome into First Take, and they both came back for more. JJ Redick, Pat Beverly. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
So good to have you both. Yesterday was a lot of fun. Ready for part two?
I like this blue thing we have.
I do too.
like
We're
we're
all
locked
in
in.
sync, but I hear someone else is on a different vibe than us right now.
Oh, look at him.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What's going on,
Is
y'all?
that Tony Montana?
What's up, fellas?
I'm confused.
What's up, everybody?
You need the
How y'all
Cuban?
doing?
Yeah. Don't let the karma get you like Tony.
What are you eating? Wild
What's going on, y'all? I
What's
just got my
happening
fruit
right now?
here.
Is that mango?
I'm just getting some mango right here. It's just some mango, fellas. How y'all doing, man?
Oh,
Least
What's up,
surprising
guys?
vibe.
you
What's
cannot
up,
make it
JJ?
anywhere.
Least
What's
surprising
going on,
vibe.
y'all?
Yeah, don't ever change. Don't ever change.
Have you ever heard of act like you've been there before? Yeah, not this guy.
not him.
This guy.
Not him. He likes
Yeah.
to talk about it too.
Yeah.
YOLO.
What's up, fellas? How y'all doing? Everybody all right?
We're great.
We're amazing. We're
Now,
amazing.
JJ, you know what I'm going to say to you, right? You sitting in that seat, bro. You got to be ready, okay? There's a responsibility that comes with sitting in that chair.
I say this every
Okay.
time that I get to sit in this chair. It's an honor. It's an honor and it's a responsibility that I take very seriously, Stephen A.
Okay.
Great
I take
All
this
right.
very
Okay.
serious.
Stephen
All
A.
right. Okay.
¿Cómo
Yeah, yeah.
estás?
¿Cómo está? ¿Cómo está?
No, you're supposed to say
Hola.
bien.
Hola.
Say bien y tú.
Right.
Yeah. Bien y tú.
Todo está bien. Listo. Okay, vamos. Let's go. Concerning news for the Celtics Defensive Player of the Year. It is a game day, folks. Not just Stephen A. hanging out in Miami for no reason. Defensive Player of the Year, Marcus Smart, questionable for Game 1 in Miami. Smart dealing with a right midfoot sprain. Sources told our Adrian Wojnarowski that Smart had an MRI on Monday that came back clean and that Smart will test the foot today. Stephen A., talk to me. I know you had the Celtics winning this, but do you believe they still can without Marcus Smart?
I don't believe so. I think that when you look at the Miami Heat, we got to give them the respect that they deserve. They're the number one seed in the Eastern Conference. They're obviously loaded from the standpoint of what they bring to the table defensively themselves. They have a star in Jimmy Butler who's anxious to prove that he is a bona fide superstar in this league. Obviously, Tyler Hero is the reigning sixth man of the year. Bam Adebayo can ball. P.J. Tucker is a stout defender. They've got the pieces in place. Now, obviously, being without Kyle Lowry hampers them somewhat to a degree anyway. We've got to take that into consideration. But Struss and all of these brothers can play, and so I think that if you're the Boston Celtics, there's already questions about Robert Williams' availability. We expect him to be available in this series. Nevertheless, he clearly hasn't been 100%. He didn't play the last few games in the Boston-Milwaukee series, so obviously we don't know about his availability here. And then to couple that with having to be compromised on the interior with his absence, and then to have a stout defender like Marcus Smart out, that puts even more pressure on Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum on both ends of the floor, not just offensively. So when I look at it from that perspective, I think that to act like this is a team that should be favored and we shouldn't be worried about them at all when you talk about going up against the Miami Heat, that's really discrediting what Miami brings to the table. I believe Boston needs Marcus Smart for the vast majority. Not like he can't afford to miss a game, but you need him in this series to advance to the NBA Finals, in my humble opinion.
Stephen A., you absolutely need Marcus Smart in this series for the Celtics to beat the Heat and advance to the NBA Finals. But in a one-game situation, they've already proved that they can win without Marcus Smart. They beat the Bucks 109-86 in Game 2. There's a lot of things, and Pat and I talked about this a bunch yesterday as well. There's a lot of things that Marcus Smart brings to the table besides statistics, the heart, the winning plays, charges, being an instigator, all the things that another guy like P.J. Tucker does. And that's important. And the makeup of the Celtics, and the attitude of the Celtics is reflected by Marcus Smart, and it's vice versa. He's that important. But in a one-game situation, they absolutely can win without him. The big question mark, Derek White will have to play a lot of minutes. He has not shot the ball well. The Bucks were basically daring him to shoot. If he's able to knock down a couple threes, I think the Celtics have a really good chance to win this game tonight.
Health is important, obviously, we know that, but he's playing tonight, so I don't even understand what the big fuss is about. We could talk about this all the time, but, he's a defensive player of the year for a reason. He's playing tonight. His toughness, his shoulders getting popped back in place and all that type of grittiness and toughness he's shown throughout the off. So, yeah, I'm not worried about it. He's playing tonight, and I'm excited to see him play, too.
Well, the one thing that I wanted to respond to JJ about is this. All things ain't equal, my brother. Now, I don't give a damn that the Milwaukee Bucks were the reigning defending NBA champions. They're not the Miami Heat. When you talk about the Bucks being without Chris Middleton, with Chris Middleton, that's a different ballgame. But without Chris Middleton, the Milwaukee Bucks ain't this Miami Heat team. Not this year, not the way they're coached, not the personnel that they've had in play, not the way that they've played throughout the vast majority of this season. I think the Miami Heat present an entirely different challenge at this moment in time than the Bucks presented last series because they didn't have Chris Middleton. If they had Chris Middleton, your argument is 100% correct. But they don't have Chris Middleton. So the Boston Celtics team, that Milwaukee Bucks team they were going against, that ain't what they about to go up against. And I think that needs to be taken into consideration.
It certainly is taken into consideration. The Miami Heat are a much different team, and you could probably make an argument they're a deeper team than the Milwaukee Bucks, even with Chris Middleton in the lineup. Giannis is not playing in the series, though, so they beat Giannis. And I think that's important to take into consideration as well. They beat the best player in the world, playing it at all-time level. They've proven they can win without Marcus Smart.
Well, clarification. First of all, I don't believe Giannis to be the best player in the world. I still believe that dude is Kevin Durant. That's my personal opinion. That's number one. Number two, because of the arsenal that he brings to the table, you got to look at Giannis from this perspective. He's coming downhill at you. He's unstoppable. Ever coming to the basket, he's the most dominant force in the game. I don't think anybody would refute that. But he's limited in what he can do offensively from the perimeter, and he's limited in what he can do from the free throw line. I think when you look at the Miami Heat, it poses a different problem because they do have perimeter shooters. They've got a star in Jimmy Butler, who's a perimeter shooter. When you take that into consideration, even though they're not Giannis because of how he can finish at the basket, they pose an entirely different problem for a Boston Celtics team devoid of the services of Marcus Smart. I'm saying Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, it puts an immense amount of significantly more pressure on them if you don't have Marcus Smart, because that means they got to do it on both ends of the floor, and they don't get to take any breaks on the defensive side of the ball. That would be problematic against the Miami Heat, and that's why I say they need Marcus Smart.
Stephen, I actually kind of agree with Pat Beverly. I just wanted to answer the question as well. I think Marcus Smart will play tonight, and I don't think there's much debate here beyond that. But I do think they can win without him. But I just want to clarify one thing, or just acknowledge one thing, and that is that you just said that Jimmy Butler was a perimeter shooter. And I love Jimmy Butler to death. I really do. He's one of my favorite players in the league, one of my favorite teammates I've ever had. But I think that's the first time I've ever heard someone describe Jimmy Butler as a perimeter shooter.
I think he can shoot perimeter shots. Hold on, wait a minute. Jimmy Butler's, all his points don't come from finishing at the basket. We've seen him hit plenty of perimeter shots. He can do that.
What does he shoot from the three? What is percentages?
Well, I'm just saying a jump shot. You trying to tell me Giannis is the same quality of jump shooter as a Jimmy Butler? You saying Jimmy Butler's that bad?
I'd have to look up Jimmy's numbers from the mid-range. I would, but Giannis shot over 42% from the mid-range this year, which is well above league average.
Oh, my God.
And Jimmy shot in the 20s and the threes from three for the last 2 years.
First of all, Jimmy Butler missed some time during the season. Let's take that into consideration. A lot